think there are some spots that are kind of like quiet spots. When I first walked in here, it wasn't like I was in a library, but I was a living, breathing museum, or AIDS museum, that told a story about HIV/AIDS from the beginning until the present. And I related to every photograph and every story. That was me. It wasn't me, but it was me. World AIDS Museum has a reach out program to younger people. I was to educate young men and women. It just gives them a new insight into being gay and try to avoid getting any STD or HIV. Because HIV is a lifetime. It's just not a time. So I think that's really important. I think every generation has to teach the next generation. That's how it works. Well, you know, I always knew I was felt different as a child. And when the realization came that I was attracted to the same sex, I was still trying to be the good boy. And I think that in a way is a mechanism to cover up the fact that you're gay. If you're really good, no one's going to figure out that you're gay. Duh. But it was very hard for me to build up my self-esteem, knowing as a very young boy, hearing all these shameful words about what gay men and women were like. I never heard women. I only heard those men who don't get married. That was the code. You know, I just would be myself in terms of as a person. I wasn't really, sexuality really hadn't entered my life at that time. You know, all of us were told, excuse me, that, you know, you're going to school not for sex, you're going to school for an education. So that was pretty much put on the table. So I did date a girl for a little bit. She asked me to her prom, and we had a very nice time. But when she asked me to marry her, I said, I can't marry her because I'm gay. She said, I don't care. I said, well, I do. That became apparent. So in my 20s, you know, early 20s, I told my sister and brother, and my sister-in-law, but I was very hesitant about telling my mother. My dad had passed away. Because of her reaction, I knew right away it was not going to be good. So part of it is when you're born Italian, of course you're born Catholic, and that between family and your religion and the government in general not being very welcoming to gay men and women. In the 80s, we had taken a break, and it was a kind of a wonderful time for me because I developed a relationship and had an actual boyfriend, even though I didn't know what that was, because I hadn't really been involved in the gay community, because I was always touring with the band, with the group, and what my big fear was, if I came out and said, I'm gay, would that affect the other 5 members of the band? I mean, it's not just my career, it's their career too. There's always this intense fear of, if you know, you have this idea that if I ruin my life, it's my decision. But if my decision ruins their life, what's that going to be like? When you're frightened to death to say, I'm gay, you think the whole world is just going to crash in on you. But what it does is it just opens up everything for you. All the people who love you will still love you and embrace you because they know you want to be happy. And the people who aren't quite sure, well, bye. And when you come out to your truth, we'll talk. Until then, you know, I'm on my way. Well, it was to come from nothing and have a successful career, and have a partner, and have a life that may not be like the life that my mother and father had, but mostly to know that, you know, you were not going to be looked down upon because of your sexual orientation. It was really frightening to think that how will I ever be part of the American dream, because I'm too different to be part of it. 'Cause I've been brainwashed to think I'm too different to be part of it. And So I basically just kept quiet and through much of my early career. And then I got really angry because I couldn't be part of it. I had a great lifestyle, but I was unable to share it with anybody for a very long time. A lot of it, I just pushed it aside. I just ate it. I just held it all in. And that turns into a nightmare situation. When you're very aware of who and what you are, and then you can't share that part of who you are. No matter how much of the American dream you're getting, whether it be financial or recognition through your profession, you're missing a big part of it. Because you're only half the person enjoying it. Once I realized that the guys were very receptive to me during my illness, and one of them came to my outing, that it was going to be a non-issue for them. So that made everything much easier for me. Well, it's like when you're out yourself, you think the world's going to collapse.
Right.
And what the world does, it opens up to you. When it was apparent that I was sick, and even though I wasn't really ready to say that yet, I had this idea that if I do one more album cut and I die, it'll be okay. Rather idiotic. Because now I've done it. Now, because I didn't get treatment, and luckily protease inhibitors were there, as opposed to 1991 where there was only AZT, forget that. The weight that you bear of fear and shame, all that kind of stuff, when that's erased, then all of a sudden, there's a world out there for me to be part of. So that was very helpful for me, and to be connected to other men and women who have gone either through the process or are going through the process, because you're not alone. I think a lot of times people feel it's just them. It's not more than just them. You're not alone. I mean, and the longer you live, the less alone you become, because more people are attracted to people who are honest than to people who are deceitful and are lying. I think every generation has to teach the next generation. That's how it works.